All right, we are back, and apologize for that. And sometimes, Braden, for those that are just rejoining our broadcast on the other broadcast, sometimes you could just blame, the internet or something like that. But sometimes just a user error, and that's what happened. But you know what? I was told I'm allowed to make 3 mistakes this year.
This year?
Well, that's baseball, so there we go. But right now, it is Sioux Falls Post 15 leading Yankton 2-0 in the top of inning number 1, 2 away. And Brandon, we kind of help us get caught up here for those that may have dropped out of that last broadcast and are rejoining us.
Well, to lead off, Jacob Muckow got on base to start for Post 15 out of Sioux Falls. Camden Vom then singled. Jack Osterloo brought Muckow home on a fielder's choice. Vom was thrown out at second. Donnie Arns was next up, and he was struck out looking. And then the most recent batter, Carson Gohl, hit an RBI single out to right center field. And that brings us to Tyler Dewan, the left-handed designated hitter here today for Sioux Falls Post 15 as they lead 2-0 in the top of inning number 1.
Thank you, Braden. So Dewan, left-handed hitter, has a 1-2 count, as you said, 2 away. And Turner delivers. And nice. Off-speed pitch on the inside portion of the plate. Gets him looking. And that is a strikeout and leaves 1 runner on for Sioux Falls. We go ahead and take a break. Come back with your bottom half of the inning here from Riverside Field. All right, welcome back to Riverside Field. Bryce Ladwick alongside Braden Butler. And I'm wondering, Braden, without the commercials from KYNT, because we're KYNTV exclusive today, I wonder how many people are getting startled when we come back from the silence.
Yeah, I don't think it's as much not having commercials to the startle. It's just not having the bump music. Really throws me off coming back. I know we had a conversation, peek behind the curtain, before we even started the pregame, where you looked at me and just said, "This feels just so awkward without the intro playing." I don't know. Do we just go? And I was like, I guess we just go.
It's tradition,
It's tradition. You hear the intro start to fade out, and we get going. But it's a good first half of the inning for Sioux Falls Post 15 as they put 2 runs on the board in the top of the first. Now going to the bottom, Mac Reiken's going to lead off, followed by Rugby Reichen and Lucas Kamshoff, and we'll see if Yankton Post 12 can answer.
Yeah, Mac Reichen trying to get things started off well for Yankton in response, and it's going to dribble over to short and up with it. The throw over is in time for the first out. So Mac Reichen, a 6-3 put out.
Yeah, good reaction by Jacob Muckow there. He didn't have to move very much as that was on a line right to him, but he got that glove in the dirt and fired over to first in a hurry.
And that brings up Rugby Reichen, who's catching today. I didn't know that was allowed to not have Jason McCorkle behind the plate.
There must be something. I know Jason McCorkle got a lot of work in the spring and with a lot of games going on this weekend. Coach Drew Lawrence probably just wants to give him a little bit of rest. It's hard to be down there crouched for 7 innings, 6 times over the course of 3 days.
But in our very large sample size of 2 games, Rugby Reichen enters 286 average, 333 on base, 619 OPS. And that just all went up a little bit as he singles out towards center, just to the right of the second base bag. Yankton has their first runner of the game. I'm going to bring up Lucas Kamshoff. Same sample size. As 400 average, 500 on base, a 1.1 OPS, 600 slugging. Couple hits on Wednesday and an RBI to his name. And he and Rugby probably the two biggest power bats in this. And now Cody Oswald, too, I will say, in this lineup. As Lucas Kamshoff swings through an off-speed pitch on the outside, 0-1.
Yeah, with the addition of Cody Oswald, there's a lot of power suddenly in the middle of this lineup. Can't sleep on a guy like Matthew Sheldon either, who's had some deep drives in the spring season.
For sure.
Didn't put any over the fence, but still has that pop.
Rugby takes off, pitches on the inside, misses for a ball, and the catcher, Grease, I don't know if he just kind of lost his footing there a little bit, Braden, or what happened, but he didn't even attempt to throw. He kind of went back, he veered back, and then just held it.
I think on the pop, the ball might have even came out of his glove there. It's hard to see a little bit with the umpire and him blocking the play, but I did see him reach down afterwards. So,
well, runner in scoring position, and that runner, Rugby, advances to third on a pass ball that goes to the backstop. And Yankton has potentially their first runner 90 feet from home, with Lucas Kamshoff at the plate with a 2-1 count. And one away here, bottom of inning number 1. Brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and the UPS Store.
Carter Dosher on the mound for Sioux Falls post 15. He got that quick out on Mac Reichen, but now Rugby's sitting on third base after a steal and then a wild pitch.
Ball in the dirt, 3-1 count to Kamshoff. And the 3-1. And Kamshoff wanted that one, Braden. A hard cut.
You know, in a 3-1 count, it's safe to assume, especially maybe early on, where there's not as much pressure on every pitch, that he's going to challenge you in a 3-1 count, try to get it back to full. So Kamshoff was waiting for it, just a little bit underneath of it.
The payoff pitch. And swings under that one. It is a strikeout on the mound. Dosher. It's a big strikeout, his first of the game. It sets down one of the biggest Yankton bats on strikes. That brings up Matthew Sheldon with 2 away. And again, Yankton's first potential runner 90 feet from home, but that runner's going to come home. Rugby taking off as the ball goes to the backstop, slides home. Yankton has cut the deficit in half. It's a 2-1 game. Nice heads-up running from Rugby Reichen. And, of course, Coach Drew Lawrence there down at third sending down, but very quick first step from Rugby.
And that's how he got from second to third, is on a wild pitch as well. So he's keeping his head on a swivel, paying attention to the game. And that's what we talk about the Bucks having to, or Yankton Post 12 having to do, my apologies, being aggressive at the plate and on the base paths.
And another ball on the outside, 2-0 count to Sheldon. Matthew Sheldon hit a double in one of the Wednesday games. And a 2-0 called strike outside, 2-1 count. And the 2-1 misses outside, brings the count to 3-1. So one thing I've noticed halfway through the spring season, the first half of the spring season, Yankton, you know, the classic 3-1 swings through, brings the count full. You know, you have some younger at-bats and just maybe you could call it almost unwise aggression, Braden, but they really improved, the Yankton bats did, in the latter half of the season, and they are carrying that over into the Legion season. It's a grounder over too short, and the throw over brings the first baseman off the bag, and goal had to chase it to his left, comes out of his glove, goes out of play, and reaching safely is Matthew Sheldon. So Yankton has another runner on an error, and that brings up Drew Reichen. But I'll finish my point is we're talking about the vision of the game and what Yankton needs to do, and that aggressiveness really applies now. They're a lot smarter with their aggression at the plate.
You know, it's a very disciplined team. Obviously, you saw guys like Rugby Reichen early on in the spring season just kind of come in with that discipline at the plate. Some of your veteran guys, but a guy like Matthew Sheldon, who's a sophomore, developed that patience as the season went on, and he just took second base as well.
Yeah, Matthew Sheldon steals second, pitch low in the dirt. It was blocked behind the plate by Grease, but Yankton has the tying run. In scoring position, 180 feet away. Drew Reichen now has a 1-0 count at the plate. He's getting set. Dosher. And Reichen rips this one down the right field line into the Yankton bullpen for a foul. 1-1 count. And the 1-1. Ball in the dirt. Drew Reichen takes. And stepping off the mound, trying to keep Sheldon honest, is Dosher.
Neither the second baseman nor the shortstop are really playing close to the bag, so Sheldon's been taking liberties at second base with his lead.
The 2-1 and a very late cut from Drew Reichen. I think he was looking for a completely different pitch there.
Like he was potentially sitting off speed.
Yeah, and brings the count to, as you would say, Braden, the deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the 2-2. Misses inside, brings the count full. I believe, Braden, this is the 3rd full count of this half inning, and this is what I was trying to say, and I know my point took a long time to get across, but you knew what I meant, though, is Yankton is being selectively aggressive and is taking longer at bats, and a lot more successful right here. Drew Reichen pops a single out toward right field. That will be enough to bring Sheldon around third and to home. We are knotted up at 2, an RBI single from Drew Reichen.
You mentioned 3 full counts for Yankton this inning. All 3 of them coming in a row. Lucas Kamshoff, Matthew Sheldon, and Drew Reichen all got it to a full count.
That brings up the wizard, Cody Oswald. And Drew Reichen getting Dosher to check him back to the bag. And he takes off, and the throw from Grease down. Pretty decent throw, a little low in front of the bag as Muckow had trouble wrangling it up, and it's a stolen base for Drew Reichen. And the go-ahead run for Yankton is in scoring position. But overall, a really decent throw from Grease.
Yeah, no, Grease put it on a 1 hop to the shortstop Muckow, and I believe it just hopped a little more than he was expecting at second base, and it just got over his glove and into center field.
And the 1-0 does get by Grease, and Drew Reichen now advances to third. And that's another thing about this Yankton team is they are pests on the base paths. They will take advantage of every single mishap to put themselves in the best position possible. Very aggressive in that nature.
And that's something we've already seen on past balls. Rugby Reichen was earlier on able to advance from second to third and then eventually score on a wild pitch as well.
And check swing, Cody Oswald on the outside, 2-1 count. Cody Oswald's always had a lot of movement in the box as a batting stance. And the 2-1 misses outside, 3-1 count.
Baseball is a very rhythmic sport. If you can get someone off the rhythm, either the pitcher or the batter, the other will have the advantage going head to head.
And a pass ball, and Cody Oswald will take a walk as Drew Reichen just comes in to score. I was looking down for a stat at Cody Oswald when that happened, Brady. Did you see? I think Drew Reichen was just, I don't think they really played it, but he'll stand. Okay, help me out, because you probably saw more than I did. I was looking down.
It was a wild pitch inside for ball 4, but Reichen started to come home because it was a wild pitch. I believe the potential call here from the umpires could also be it was really close inside. If it went off of Cody's foot, that's a dead ball, so everybody has to go back to their base. So if they rule it a hit by pitch, that makes sense. If it's a walk, but it is a wild pitch, I believe the runner is still allowed to advance, so I'm not entirely sure, but umpire rulings are final.
Sorry to step on you, but you were mentioning that he was hit by a pitch. That's why. Okay.
It did go off the foot.
I didn't see it go off the foot, so I was wondering why that wouldn't be just a live ball. But
I was wondering the same thing. So, but it did come inside, and he tried to dance out of the way. So just off the toe tops there of Cody Oswald, and puts Drew Reichen back on third. But you got runners at the corners for Yankton.
Yeah, runners at the corners, 2 away, and at the plate, Luke Bernardo, right fielder today for Yankton. And Dosha will check back the runner at first. This situation, I think you almost have to just ignore Cody Oswald there at first. He will be taking off. I'm going to bet a Josh Bolter dollar again.
You've bet a lot of Josh Bolter's money so far. A whole $2 is a lot of money, but, you know.
Fine, I'll bet 2 Josh Bolter dollars he's taking off.
We've doubled it.
Here he goes. And the throw from Grease. They are going to throw, and a hopper down to second. No cutoff man was necessary as Drew Rankin stayed at third. I was thinking for sure he was going to go, and I think they were just waiting to see what kind of throw. It's kind of a wild card throw. You don't know how it's going to play on the turf. There's now both runners now in scoring position for Yankton to Bernardo. Bernardo gets under this one a little bit and sends it out toward the Yankton bullpen, and that's where it will land. As the count now sits 1-1. And Luke Bernardo, so far in the 2-game sample, actually just 1 game for him, 333 average, and did have an RBI on Wednesday. He has a chopper down the right field line. It's into right field. Luke Bernardo will have 2 RBIs as both runners come across. The speedy Cody Oswald following Drew Reichen. So 2 RBI single for Luke Bernardo. Make that 3 RBIs on the season for him.
He moves to 2 for 4 on the season with 2 RBIs. Good early start to the Legion year for Luke Bernardo.
Yeah, he had some rough at-bats in the spring season, but off to a really hot start. Solid at-bats for Bernardo as he dances off first. And that brings up Josh Sheldon. Sheldon, the second baseman here in this matchup.
If Sheldon's able to get on base here, it would bring up back up the top of the order. Yankton's almost batted around in inning number 1.
And hit right up the middle for Josh Sheldon, and that Luke Bernardo will step on second, do a very quick turn to third, and head back to his bag. And so back-to-back hits.
I would like to say that I lied. I forgot. I didn't write down Cooper Grotenheis's name on my score sheet, so my apologies to Cooper Grotenheis. He is the 9-hole hitter for the team.
Wow. I'm letting him know. Do you want me to yell out the window right now?
Listen, I wrote this at like I had to get up early. I'm running on very little hours of sleep. I'm lucky I got most of the names in the score sheet.
It is a 4-2 lead for Yankton. 2 outs in the bottom of inning number 1. 1 runner on first, 1 on second. Cooper Grotenheis at the bat for Yankton. We have a mound visit from Sioux Falls staff that is brought to you by Hedro, one of Yankton's biggest and best employers. When you're ready for a break and looking for a new career direction, visit jobs.hedro.com. And left-handed hitter Cooper Grotenheis. And every team has an Energizer bunny. That's what he was for Yankton basketball state team. Did a nice job, especially defensively coming off the bench, but he was just a catalyst for momentum. We always loved his energy. And as a team leader for sure.
There were multiple times throughout the season where he'd come off the bench and bring a spark onto the floor, just meeting his guys coming back to the bench during a timeout. I said multiple times, he's my guy for a reason.
That you left him off your
It was an honest mistake.
Will I let it go? Will I, though, Brandon?
No. I know for a fact you won't. If you hold anything, it's grudges, but it's all right.
Count is 1-2. Sound like my wife. Count is 1-2. 2 away. Cooper Grotenheis, left-handed hitter, takes the ball outside, brings the count even at 2 apiece. Grotenheis did score a run on Wednesday. So we got on base. Here's the 2-2 from Dosher, and this one is lifted foul. Count remains 2-2. You don't want the crack of the bat to end in the crack of your windshield and not have adequate insurance coverage. Let Midwest Insurance find the right coverage for your vehicles.
With Grotenheis, too, he has a lot of pop in the bat. Drew Lawrence talked about if he straightened out a couple hits down the right field line on Wednesday, could have went over the fence.
What a pitch. Sorry, you get a welcomed whistle, but did you see that break and that curveball from Dosher getting Grotenheis looking on a breaking ball that just kind of swept back into the zone for a punch out that ends the Yankton threat. But the damage is done. 4 runs, 2 left on base, and 4 hits for Yankton. Before we send it off to a break, I want to thank a few of our sportscaster partners, amongst them America's Best Realty. Tired of renting or apartment living? Ready to upgrade or own your own home? Call America's Best Realty at 260-1600 and unlock the American dream. And Boston Shoes to Boots. Footwear expert since 1915, Boston Shoes to Boots carries high-quality work boots, casual, athletic, and dress shoes for men and women. Located at 3rd and Broadway or bostonshoestoboots.com. And Elwood Family Dental Care, where they take care of the entire family and are always welcoming new patients. Back in a moment here from Riverside Field. And welcome back to Riverside Field, and we're in the second inning, Braden. We already have a substitution. Will you guide us through that?
Yeah, now this was originally supposed to be Colin Murrah, the third baseman, batting here, but he's been switched already as Ryder Stubbs checks in.
Number 22, Ryder Stubbs. I wonder if he'll be going out to right field. I guess we will find out. Has a 1-1 count at the plate. Left-handed hitter. And pitching the outside, 2-1. And the 2-1 sent very foul. Right onto the street. And you know what I'm going to say. You don't want the crack of the bat to end in the crack of your windshield and not have adequate insurance coverage. Let Midwest Insurance find the right coverage for your vehicles. The 2-2 curveball. Sean Turner gets him looking a very nice curveball. We've seen a couple really nice curveballs in the last couple at-bats for both teams, Braden.
Yeah, I know, obviously ended the bottom of inning number 1 with a great curveball from Dosher for Sioux Falls, and then right there, Sean Turner showing he can paint that front corner as well.
That brings up Dayton Grease, catcher, and it's 2-hopper. Over to Drew Reichen, and the throw over. It's a hard throw, gets him over at first. What an arm, and that's 2 away. So a 6-3 put out.
What an arm from Drew Reichen at short. That guy should pitch.
I see what you did there.
Of course, Drew Reichen got the start in Game 1 of the season against Aberdeen on Wednesday. Playing shortstop here, we'll most likely see him again before the end of this Kyle Mueller Classic on the mound.
I'd bet a Josh Bolter $1. Does he know he owes me money now?
I don't think so. Hopefully he is working right now.
Sure, working. And 1-0 on the outside. And Sam Wilkes at the plate. And swinging under. All right, did we get double confirmation on Wicks or Wilkes? Live stat says Wicks as well.
As I say, maybe that's just a error in handwriting, so I apologize. It does look like Wicks instead of Wilkes. I will take responsibility for that one.
Oh, you're good. I just want to make sure. I don't want to say the wrong name too long. I don't like when that happens either. 2-1 to Wicks. Sean Turner looking into Rugby Reichen behind the plate. And charging from third is Matthew Sheldon in front of Drew Reichen and unable to glove it. It would have been a tough throw, the angle that they were charging, both of them. If it was going to be Drew Reichen that gloved it or Sheldon, both of them would have had a hard throw as the runner reaches on first. So 2 away here, top of inning number 2.
You know, Sheldon was on the move very fast, so he would have had to open up his body to make that throw. And, of course, Drew Reichen moving to his right would have had to go back across his body to make the throw to first. That's just a tough play in general. Well-placed hit for an infield, in the infield.
And they're going to say it's an error, so reaches on an error. And that will bring us to the top of the order. Jacob Muckow, who singled in his first at-bat, takes a strike in the outside, 0-1.
He singled and would come around to score. He led off this game with a big hit that proved to bear some fruit on the scoreboard for Sioux Falls post 15. He's hoping he can do it again here to try to cut into this 2-run deficit.
0-1, chop foul, brings out 0-2. Sean Turner toes the rubber, checks his runner over at first, and delivers. Ball misses high, 1-2 count. For those that may not have heard our Aberdeen broadcast covering post 12, as I'll get to that in a second. The 1-2 runner takes off the throw down from Rugby Reich, and a one-hopper, and Drew Reichen covers the bag. Or excuse me, that was actually Josh Sheldon who covered the bag, and not in time with a stolen base for Sioux Falls. They have a runner in scoring position off of second. 2 away, 2-2 count. Muckow at the plate. Ball low and outside. Brings the count full. As I was saying, Braden, for those that may not have heard me already make this joke earlier this year, but I really like Yankton's chances of making the state tournament this year.
Yankton post 12 at Riverside Field. The great city of Yankton will play host to the Legion tournament this year, for those who are unaware.
And Rugby Reich trying to get the runner off base down at second as the walk is issued. So quick throw down, be back in time. So Muckow takes a walk here in the second. 2 runners on for Sioux Falls, brings up Camden. Why can I not say his name? Camden Vom. Singled in his first at-bat. First pitch low outside. Rugby scoops it out. Count 1-0. We have a mound visit from Coach Drew Lawrence. Coming out there. This is brought to you by Hedro, one of Yankton's biggest and best employers. When you're ready for a break and looking for a new direction, visit jobs.hedro.com. But yeah, so to finish the joke, let's bring this full circle. Yankton is hosting the 2023 South Dakota Legion State Tournament. Winner of that goes on to the regional tournament, which I believe, again, this year is held in Rapid City. Winner of that regional tournament goes on to the American Legion World Series, and I'm pretty positive saying that is in North Carolina. So a lot of stages to this. Well, Yankton still has a lot to fight for in the season, even though they are guaranteed a spot in the state tournament, and that is all about seeding, Braden, getting your best matchup possible.
Yeah, you don't want to sneak into the state tournament on a technicality. You want to carry the momentum throughout the season. You want to be as high of a seed as you can, maybe even the top seed, hosting on your home field.
They won't have to play in the play-in regional, though.
This provides some rest, too, late in the season.
Mm-hmm. That is a benefit. And the 1-1 now to Vom. High inside, fastball misses, 2-1 count. And the 2-1. And this one is lifted very foul. And very much that actually could have hit a vehicle that is parked by the opening gate.
It's a good thing we parked farther away.
Never again. You don't want the crack of the bat to end in the crack of your windshield and not have adequate insurance coverage. Let Midwest Insurance find the right coverage for your vehicles. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of inning number 2. And that one is fouled almost into an identical spot.
It's 2
Count
runners
remains.
on base as well.
There you go. How many twos can we come up with?
This is the true deuces wild scenario. It's even the second inning.
Turner. Checking the lead runner over at second now. Delivers. Pitch misses badly inside and kind of knocks back Vom just a little bit off the plate. Brings the count full. Payoff pitch is a walk issued on the inside. Both runners were taking off, and the bases are now loaded for Sioux Falls. This is, it very well could. Doesn't matter sometimes, Braden, what inning it is. This could very well be the most important half inning for Sioux Falls, depending on how this game shakes out.
And this scenario is very important for Sean Turner as well. See how he can battle out of this. Bases loaded situation with 2 outs, though it might, honestly, in a weird way, take a little bit of pressure off because you got to force that any base, and you don't really have to worry about any of the runners who are on.
Jack Osterloh, granted to a fielder's choice, got an RBI in his first at bat. Takes the ball, 1-0. And lifts this one foul, giving chase. Oh, Matthew Sheldon, actually closer than I thought it was going to be. As Sheldon goes crashing into the fence in front of the left field bleachers. Seems to be okay.
Now, Matthew Sheldon playing linebacker and fullback in the fall last year for Yankton Bucks football team. He proved all season he wasn't afraid of contact. So he big collision with the wall, but he's able to bounce right off of it.
And the 1-1. It's a lifted foul as well. Sean Turner already at 46 pitches. And the 1-2 misses low and outside. Rugby able to get a partial block, but blocks it to prevent a run coming in. That's your block of the game, brought to you by H&R Block, open year-round, providing bookkeeping, payroll, and tax services. 665-3366. Two misses low and a bit outside, brings the count full. Bases loaded. Sioux Falls, Yankton at threatening to walk in a run. Or at the very least, this ball will be put into play. Payoff pitch, and that will be the case. The former. A walk will come in on, a run will come in on the walk. As Osterley will be credited with an RBI. So Donnie Arns now struck out his first at bat, and he has the bases loaded coming up. As now it's a 4-3 ball game. Yankton still on top. Ball misses high and outside, 1-0. Turner just having a little bit of a control issue, seems, on the outside portion of the plate. And that's a strike called on the outside. Brings the count 1-1. Misses inside. Brings the count 2-1. High and outside. 3-1. Sean Turner now at 54 pitches.
And to put in a heavy workload already for Turner. It's still only the top of the second.
And this one is in play. It is a grounder over to Sheldon. Sheldon gets the runner over at second to force out. And so Yankton maintains their lead at the end of the top of inning number 2. And so there was 3 runners left on and 1 run on actually no hits. And we'll be back here from Riverside Field. Yankton leading 4-3 entering the bottom of inning number 2. Day 1, Kyle Mueller Classic. Welcome back to Riverside Field. Bottom of inning number 2 is started. Mac Reichen takes a ball on the outside, 1-0. Dosher gets a strike call on the outside. Yeah, nice pitch on the outside again. Brings count 1-2.
Did you win the war against another fly?
I did. That's 8. And Mac Reichen set down on strike, swings in an outside fastball. And now it is Rugby Reichen singled in his first at-bat. That was in the first inning.
Came around to score as well, did Rugby, as he came across the plate on a wild pitch.
Second inning brought to you by Yankton Medical Clinic and FNBO. Ball misses on the inside. 1-0. We'll check on the Crofton Pool when we get an opportunity, as well as check on the Yankton Gazelles up at State in Aberdeen for softball. I should give you that update right now. They are trailing right now 3-0 versus Sioux Falls, Washington, as Rugby is hit by a pitch and will take his bag at first. It was a very interesting first year, and very successful, obviously, for Yankton. First year of sanctioned softball. State of South Dakota. I think it's a good deal for the athletes, the school, and just the state in general, Braden.
It really is, and Yankton will always be able to say they were one of the first 8. They were one of the original 8 to make the state tournament in Class AA, and Grace Burns threw the first pitch in Class AA state tournament history. And
Kamshoff just laces one out to left, right into the glove, and folks, I mean right into the glove of the left fielder Arns, and that's 2 away. Sorry to step on you, Braden.
No, that's okay. There was a play out on the field, and Kamshoff hit that one hard, unfortunately, right at the left fielder. But that's something that was talked about on the broadcast on KYNT. Of course, Jeff Duffy covering that for us. And Grace Burns will always be able to say she threw the first pitch in Class AA state tournament history.
Rugby takes off for second, and the ball gets by him, and then he takes off for third. Probably not a good idea. He is thrown out sliding. Very aggressive base running for Rugby, and he's upset. And I think maybe he thought, Braden, that ball was the distance between the fielder that threw it, the center fielder, was a little greater than it was, as he's thrown out at third.
I think he thought it was getting almost by the center fielder the way it bounced. But, sometimes when it catches the natural grass in the outfield, it will slow that ball down, and it's easier to get a read on it for the center fielder. And fortunately for Rugby, he got thrown out trying to make it into third.
And so no hits, no runs, no one left on. And that will bring us to the top of inning number 3. I want to thank a few of our sportscaster partners. J&H Cleaning, carpet, upholstery, area rugs, air ducts, dryer vents, power washing, and janitorial services for businesses. Dirty doesn't stand a chance. If it's dirty, J&H can clean it. Check out jhcleaningsd.com. And Kaiser Heating and Cooling. When it comes to heating and cooling, be the wiser and go with Kaiser. That's Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton. And Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here from Riverside Field-Yankton leading 4-3 over Sioux Falls, post 15. Welcome back to Riverside Field. We begin the top of inning number 3. And at the plate, Carson Gall, the first baseman for Sioux Falls, has an 0-2 count. Sean Turner still on the mound for Yankton.
You know, Turner started this with 2 strikes as well. Struggled with location a bit in the second inning. Would allow a run to come across on a walk, but starts 3 straight strikes and the punch out to open up inning number 3 here. Good recovery by Sean Turner. Was able to get out of the last inning and now pumping the gas a little more here in inning number 3. Do have a score update from the Crofton pod of the Kyle Mueller Classic, the opening game of that one. Hardington currently leads Crofton 3-0. That one in the 4th inning.
All right, and hand it over to Braden for play-by-play for the next few innings here from the Kyle Mueller Classic here at Riverside Field. Yankton currently leads 4-3.
Got a 1-1 count with 1 down now for Turner. One pitch, got a swing and a miss there from Dewin. Dewin, the designated hitter for Sioux Falls post 15, struck out in his first at-bat. Turner caught him looking, and that ended the first inning. 1-2 pitch. This one, contact made, is going to bounce down the third base line and get picked up out of play, so it would be ruled a foul ball. Count remains 1-2 with 1 down. We're in the top of the 3rd. It is a 4-3 ball game for Yankton as they lead Sioux Falls. 4 runs on 4 hits for Yankton, 3 runs on 3 hits for Sioux Falls, each team with 1 error apiece. It almost makes me happy how uniform the scoreboard is, seeing that 3-3-1 and 4-4-1.
We're weird with our numbers, aren't we?
I'm a numbers guy. I was a math major for a semester. That one's off the plate for ball 2. Obviously, I wasn't a big enough numbers guy, but I digress. 2-2 count now for Turner. That one misses off the plate for ball 3. We have bounced in front of the plate there. Full count now to Dewin. Turner comes set. Works primarily out of the stretch with runners on or not. And he gets Dewin looking for strike 3 there. Rung him up again. That brings up Ryder Stubbs now, who had his first at-bat of the game in the 2nd inning as he led off. That one ended in a punch-out for Turner there. This one, ground ball to second baseman. Josh Sheldon gloves it, looks to Cooper Grotenheis at first, fires across, and gets him. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts for Sean Turner in that inning, and then a 4-3 put out to end it. No hits, no runs, no runners left on base. We go to the Yankton Post 12 bats in the bottom half when we come back here on KYNTV. Welcome back in here on KYNTV. Braden Butler, Bryce Ladwig up in the booth here as Yankton leads 4-3 going into the bottom of inning number 3. This is the opening game of the Yankton portion of the Kyle Mueller Classic. Of course, 10 total teams, 5 here in Yankton, 5 more over in Crofton. First pitch of the at-bat to Matthew Sheldon is inside for ball 1. Sheldon reached on an error in the first inning. So he is 0 for 0 on the official score sheet. Big swing there, but that one doesn't find any contact. 1-1 count now. Carter Dosher still on the mound for Sioux Falls. Tries to bend that one in, but bends it maybe a little too much as it's off the plate for ball 2. 2-1 pitch from Dosher. Sheldon puts a drive into this one deep down the left field line, but that one's going to fade foul just in front of the warning track. Matthew Sheldon showing why he is one of those maybe sleeper power bats on this team. Hasn't had a home run this year between the spring season and this, but he's had a couple of hard drives that have ended up near the warning track. Count's knotted up at 2-2 now for Sheldon. Dosher comes set. Much like Sean Turner, works primarily out of the stretch. Leaves that one too far inside for ball 3. The count goes full. Sheldon is leading off this inning for Yankton. Drew Reichen's on deck. Cody Oswald in the hole as Sheldon grounds this one to the shortstop Muckow. Fires across the diamond. Good stretch at first. Gets Sheldon. Close play, but Sheldon couldn't beat the throw. That's going to bring up Drew Reichen as we have one away here in the bottom of inning number 3.
Number 4, Drew Reichen.
Reichen had an RBI single in the first inning. Dosher comes set with the bases empty. First pitch to Reichen of this at-bat. Finds the zone for strike 1. Second pitch off the plate inside for ball 1. It was high around the helmet for Reichen, but he stood in there. One of 4 hits on the day for Yankton coming from Drew Reichen's bat. All 4 of those coming in inning number 1. That one misses the zone for ball 2. 2-1 count now to Drew Reichen. The 2-1 pitch, high and inside. I think it went over the head of Reichen from my angle for ball 3. 3-1 count now. Drew Reichen, the 5-hole hitter, playing shortstop today. That one low and away for ball 4. Reichen walks here. And that brings up Cody Oswald with 1 runner on and 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Oswald, the left-handed batter, one of 2 in the lineup today for Yankton. Cooper Grotenheist the other. Oswald loading up in his stance as Dosher comes set. Dosher's going to step off. Giving a glimpse into the chess match between the pitcher and the batter as he comes set and fires quickly after stepping off, but leaves that one low for a ball. Oswald was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. That one finds the outside part of the plate for strike 1. 1-1 count with 1 down and a runner on. For the double one, number 11, Cody Oswald. Dosher's going to step off, fake a throw to first. Just trying to keep Reichen honest.
For those watching on Facebook, I want to say welcome to my Facebook page. I am, for some reason, remember I was kind of scrambling to get things figured out, Braden. It's streaming on my personal Facebook page right now. Drop a like.
Drop a like. Drop a follow. I don't know. Probably don't follow.
Yeah,
you,
don't follow me. Not on Facebook.
Be the second time I dox you. Anyway, 3-1 count after that ball inside. Throw down to second base as Drew Reichen started to go but came back to first. So 3-1 count. It's a 4-3 ball game. Yankton leading. All 4 of their runs coming in inning number 1. We sit in the bottom of the 3rd. Dosher comes set as he fires. Big cut from Oswald as he foul tips it back into the netting. payoff pitch from Dosher. This one driven high down the left field line. Looks like that one's going to be out of play, though. Foul tipped. Foul ball is brought to you by Midwest Insurance Agency. You don't want the crack of the bat to end in the crack of your windshield and not have adequate insurance coverage. Let Midwest Insurance find the right coverage for your vehicles. Full count as Oswald steps back into the batter's box. Dosher gets the call he likes, so he comes set on the mound. The delivery driven down the first base line off the glove of the first baseman. He corrals it and steps on the bag, and that is Cody Oswald out at first, but it advances Drew Reich into second. Brings up Luke Bernardo, who had a 2 RBI single in his first at-bat.
Now batting number 17, right fielder, Luke Bernardo.
Be an unassisted ground out to the first baseman for Oswald. First pitch to Bernardo, swung on and missed. Only the 3rd game of the season for Yankton. 2nd game Bernardo has appeared in, so there's not a huge sample size, but he's 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. Dosher staring at Drew Reichen. Reichen staring right back as he was dancing on the base path, and Dosher finally steps off to push him back. It really is a high-level chess match. Dosher fires home now, and that one low and away and gets away from the catcher. Reichen's going to stand up as he goes into third. Takes a big turn as well just in case. Never know if something wild's going to happen or you can get home. Now Bernardo's in prime position to get another RBI here and add to his total. 1-1 count, 2 down, runner on third now after that wild pitch. Dosher kicks and deals, that one inside. Dosher works out of the stretch no matter if his runner's on or off, but now with Reichen on third, he's going back to a bigger leg kick. That one high and inside, ball 3. Is that 9?
You see it?
Okay, it was 9.
There you go. Proof.
Proud of you.
Thanks, buddy.
3-1 count as we get off our side tangent. Bernardo foul tips this one back into the backstop. Just a bit on top of that. Count goes full with 2 down. Reichen moving on the pitch. Bernardo swings on it, but he misses for strike 3. Luke Bernardo sat down on strikes to end the inning. That'll be no hits, no runs, 1 runner left on base for Yankton. Before we go to a break, head to the top of the 4th. I'd like to thank a couple more of our Sportscaster Club members, starting with Aztec. Aztec of Yankton was founded on innovation and a passion to help their customers. They live their core values every day. Right now, they are offering a healthy sign-on bonus and wage along with great benefits. Build your career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. Stop by for a walk-in interview or click careers at aztecindustries.com. Also, Midwest Insurance Agency, a local independent insurance agency offering insurance from a local South Dakota company, DeSmet Farm Mutual. Midwest Insurance Agency is located just east of the Yankton Bowl. And finally, One Office Solution, the one source for all your office products, including copiers, furniture, and office supplies. One Office Solution, located next to Pizza Ranch on Broadway in Yankton. We head to the top of the 4th in a 4-3 ball game. Sean Turner back out on the mound for Yankton when we come back here on KYNTV. Welcome back on KYNTV. First pitch of inning number 4 is popped up in foul territory. Cooper Grotenheis makes a diving effort behind first base, but he can't get a glove on it. There'll be a lot of excitement for a foul ball as the count goes to 0-1. Dayton Grease at the plate. He's the catcher for Sioux Falls. Grounded out to shortstop Drew Reichen in the 2nd inning. That's his lone at-bat of the day. On deck is Sam Wicks. And after that, it's the top of the order with Jacob Muckow. 0-1 pitch from Turner. That one finds the zone for strike 2. Turner has at least 1 strikeout in every inning so far, and he has 5 total. Looking down the barrel of his 6th. This is 0-2 count now to Grease. That one inside, though, for ball 1. Leaves that one too far inside as well. Almost clips Grease. It's ball 2, 2-2 count. Turner comes set. Bounces that one in front of the plate. Full count.
On-air production meeting. Where did you get the score update from Crofton?
I found Hardington's page on Game Changer. And so they were 3-0
gotcha.
in Crofton. This one grounded back to Turner on the mound. Bounces off of his glove, but Josh Sheldon comes up with it at second, and the punch out at first as he gets it to Cooper Grotenheis. Little bit of patty cake action to get it there, but it ends up in the glove of Josh Sheldon. He fires over to Cooper Grotenheis for the put out. 1 down now here in the top of inning number 4. The 4th inning starts the same way the 3rd inning ended, with a 4-3 put out is. Turner steps off for a moment there. Now he's back on the rubber. Big swing there from Sam Wicks. Reached on an error in the 2nd inning, so he's 0 for 0 on the day. Oh, 1 pitch. This one popped up down the left field line and out of play. Turner had a shaky 2nd inning. Since then, he's been able to find his rhythm and groove, but leaves that one off the plate for ball 1. Pair of punch-outs in the last inning as they went 3 up, 3 down. Got the first out of this inning. This one ground ball back up the middle. Drew Reichen gets a glove on it at the shortstop position, fires across to Cooper Grotenheis, and that is the 2nd out of the inning on a 6-3 put out. Brings up the top of the order, Jacob Muckow.
Good contact, kid. We get the next one. Leadoff, shortstop, number 6, Jacob Muckow.
Muckow officially 1 for 1 on the day as he singled in the first at-bat of this ball game and then reached on a walk in the 2nd inning. Two down with no runners on as Turner works out of the stretch, almost catches Muckow. It did catch Muckow.
Muckow hit my pitch. Now batting.
So Muckow's been on base every time he's stepped up to the plate, but still only 1 for 1 in the official scorebooks. Puts a runner on for Camden Vom. Vom singled in his first at-bat and reached on a walk in the 2nd inning. First pitch to him is a ball. 1-0 count. Turner checks the runner at first. Checks for a 3rd time since getting back on the rubber. This one grounded towards the shortstop, Drew Reichen. Going to his right, gloves it, fires back across his body. Great catch by Grotenheis. Saves the runner from advancing to 3rd, but it pulls him off the bag. So the runner is going to be safe at first. Runners at 1st and 2nd for Sioux Falls, and that brings up Jack Osterloo. We'll see if that is ruled a throwing error on Reichen. Is most likely the case, but you never know, so we wait for the official scorebooks to update.
And it is ruled a single.
Okay.
That was going to be a hard throw. I think that's why.
It was a tough throw going back across the body. So ruled a single for Camden Vom. 2 for 2 on the day now. First pitch of the at-bat to Jack Osterloo is off the plate for ball 1. Osterloo reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, and it brought a run home. Then he walked in the second inning, also brought a run home. That one left off the plate again, gets past Riken behind the dish. Runners will scamper to third and second. 2 runners in scoring position now for Sioux Falls, still 2 down in the inning. A well-hit ball could give Sioux Falls the lead. Turner gets the out at the plate, though. Nothing else matters, so he turns his attention solely to the batter Osterloo. And a 2-0 count leaves that one inside for ball 3. It's a 3-0.
82 pitches for Sean Turner.
He's had a busy day at the office through 4 innings, averaging over 20 pitches an inning at this rate.
Just that math major.
Puts that one in there for a strike, though. 3-1 count. I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit. I got a B, I think, in my first semester of college math. This one hard hit down the third base line. And Muckow at third dove to the ground to get out of the way of it as that was ripped. I almost thought it hit him the way he dropped to the turf. I'm glad it didn't.
I haven't seen anyone take cover that fast since Afghanistan, Braden. He got down fast.
Big swing there, and Turner gets the punch out to end in top half of inning number 4.
Nice pitch by
1 hit, no runs, 2 runners left on base for Sioux Falls. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here on KYNTV. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back on KYNT. We get ready to go here in the bottom of the 4th inning on KYNTV. Excuse me. First pitch is a strike to Josh Sheldon.
Second base.
Sheldon reached on a single in his first at-bat. That came back in the first inning. Second pitch is a ball, low, maybe a tad outside as well. 1-1 count. That one in there for a strike. It's 1-2. We talked about Sean Turner and his heavy workload through 4 innings earlier on as he's over 80 pitches. That strike right there puts Dosher at 72 on the day. Leaves that one high for ball 2. Both these pitchers getting a full workload in the opener, this Kyle Mueller Classic. Josh Sheldon hit hard, gets through the glove of the third baseman Stubbs. And Sheldon's going to be at first once again. See if that's officially ruled an error, but on a hard hit ball like that, it just seemed to rip through the glove of Stubbs.
Number 7, Cooper.
I'm going to bet a Josh Bolter $1. It's a single. Oh, he owes me $5 now.
This is not going to hold up in like any sort of court.
You need to let him know that I'm betting him money.
I think it should be your business to handle. Grotenheis tries to lay down a bunt here, but it's going to tip foul for an 0-1 count now.
It'd be funnier, though, if you go up to him and say, hey, you know you owe Bryce $10, right? And be like, why?
I just cut out the middleman. You guys work right next to each other 5 days a week.
That's true.
I don't have a little cubicle space. I'm not in there every day.
Yeah, to be fair, I have 2 cubicles.
It's another bunt here from Grotenhuis. He gets this one down in the field of play, and he beats out the throw to first. Showing off the wheels from the track athlete. Puts the runners at first and second now on a single on the bunt by Grotenhuis. He's 1 for 2 on the day.
Leadoff number 3, Mac Reichen.
Brings up the leadoff hitter in the top of the order, Mac Reichen, the left fielder. Struck out in his last at-bat, grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning as well. So he's got an 0 for 2 on the docket. All it takes is one good swing to change that. He's showing bunt, though. He lays down another bunt. This one down the third base line. It's going to tip foul into the coaching box. Good scoop by Drew Lawrence in the third base box. I believe that's Drew Lawrence, but I could be wrong. Both coaches are wearing black hoodies, red helmets, sunglasses, and have beards. So from up here, could be anybody's guess, but Drew's usually at third base.
He's at third.
Another bunt laid down the third base line. This one, another beauty, but it rolls foul. Smart play by Dosher, just letting that one roll and roll until it went foul.
Braden, that one deserves a oof. That was close.
It's a very heads-up play by Dosher. It was well-executed bunt by Mac Reichen, but even the most well-executed plans go awry. It's not the exact quote, but it's close enough, so I'll take it. 0-2 pitch here to Reichen. That one high for ball. 1-2 count now. Reichen most likely not going to try to lay down another bunt attempt, but I've had worse ideas. 1-2 pitch. Big swing there from Reichen, but he can't find a piece of it. He was sat down on strikes. First out of inning number 4. Brings up Rugby Reichen, who singled in his first at-bat and was hit by a pitch in his second. Was eventually thrown out, trying to stretch to third on a steal attempt. Dosher leaves that one inside, almost clips Reichen again. It's pitch number 81 for Dosher in this game. Both pitchers now over 80 pitches through 4 innings. They're not even fully 4 innings. That one finds the zone, though, for strike 1. 1-1 count now to Reichen. I want to say the left fielder of this, where I've seen him play all year long, but he's behind the plate today in place of Jace McCorkle. Big swing there. Little low, can't find a piece of it.
A little ahead of that pitch there, that off speed.
1-2 count as Dosher comes 7 on the mound.
See, that was that curveball, Braden, that we saw. Which at-bat was it? Do you remember?
I remember
Lucas
it
Kampshoff,
happening.
right?
I believe it was, Lucas Kampshoff. That was a great front door curveball that got him. I believe actually it was to Cooper Grotenhuis, because
Yes,
it was out of the
yes.
left-handed batter's box.
Yeah, it came from the back end and just swung in, but that one hung there. That's why it reminded me of it. He has the stuff.
2-2 pitch here. Leaves that one high for ball 3. Dosher's the man on the mound. I want to apologize. I said his name wrong last 2-3 times. But I digress. Mistakes get made every day. Full count now. Dosher to Reichen. That one can't find the zone. Ball 4. The bases are now loaded for Yankton. Only one down here in the inning, and that brings up Lucas Kampshoff. 0 for 2 on the day is Kampshoff. Had a strikeout in the first inning. Had a hard hit ball in the second. But that was a line out to the left fielder. We're going to have a mound visit here for Sioux Falls. Mound visits are brought to you by Hedro, one of Yankton's biggest and best employers. When you're ready for a break and looking for a new direction, visit job.hedro.com. We'll see if this potentially leads to a pitching change on the mound, as Dosher has had a long day of work, up over 80 pitches, much like Sean Turner. We'll have more baseball action and an official decision. Never mind, we're not going to go to break. They're breaking the huddle on the mound, so to speak. Dosher, yes, is going to stay in there. I was going to say the umpire was leaving his position behind the plate. He's either break it up or make a change. What are we doing here? Trying to keep the pace of play active. There's no pitch clock like in the majors, but still a fast-paced game so far today. 4-3 ball game with 1 out, bases loaded. Yankton leading. Lucas Kamshoff at the plate. That one off the plate for a ball. Kamshoff at the plate. Matthew Sheldon on deck. Drew Reichen in the hole for Yankton. That one high for ball 2. Two-0 count to Kamshoff, bottom of inning number 4. 3 runners on for Yankton. Dosher finds the zone on that one. Clipped the outside part of the plate. 2-1 count now. Back-to-back strikes for Dosher, and that evens the count up at 2-2. Kamshoff's got to protect here in a 2-2 count, but doesn't want to get caught swinging at something out of the zone either. And that one was high and tight. Catcher had to jump behind the plate. Good stop by him, potentially saving a run. Count goes full. Yankton does lead by 1. 6 hits, 1 error. 4 runs have come across the plate for post 12. Kamshoff puts a drive into this one, gets past the third baseman. 1 run is going to score for Yankton. Big turn at third. Second one coming across the plate. That's going to be 2 more on the board for Yankton as Josh Sheldon and Cooper Grotenheist come across on that 2 RBI single for Lucas Kamshoff.
Oh, nice hit down the left field line. So much power coming out of that right-hand batter's box with Kamshoff. And I expect we're going to see at least a couple more this season go over the fence at some point, Braden.
Now he has that track record. He got 2 home runs in the spring season, so now the weather gets warmer. If the wind potentially comes out of the north as well instead of the south to push the ball over, we could see some big flies throughout this summer year. First pitch to Matthew Sheldon is a ball. Second pitch high for ball 2. 2-0 count to the cleanup man, Matthew Sheldon. Reached on an error in his first at-bat and then grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. That one is ball 3 from Dosher. He's up over 90 pitches.
We do have the bullpen active for Sioux Falls. A left-handed thrower.
3-0 pitch. We'll see if Sheldon's taking on the way. He was, but that catches the inside part for strike 1. I know in the spring season the limit is 105 pitches in a game. Not sure if the Legion season operates the same way, but we got a hit and run for Yankton as Sheldon puts that one over the shortstop's head. Coming home from second base is Rugby Reichen as another run scores for post 12. RBI single for Matthew Sheldon, his first hit of the day. It's going to bring Drew Reichen to the plate. We're going to get another mound visit here and most likely a pitching change for Sioux Falls. As I go to the official score sheet here to write down that RBI single. Getting a mound visit, potentially a pitching change. We're going to go to break here on KYNTV as the pitching change is being made. Pitching changes are brought to you by Conklin Distributing. Time to rehydrate with Prime Hydration, the perfect combination of flavor and function. Changing how you refresh, replenish, and refuel with 5 awesome flavors and no added sugar. You're getting the taste you want without anything you don't. Prime Hydration, the perfect boost for every endeavor. Going to go to break on KYNTV, take care of the housekeeping issues, so to speak, see where everybody's moving and shaking to on the field for Sioux Falls. We're going to come back with Drew Reichen at the plate for Yankton. Don't go anywhere. This is Yankton Post 12 Baseball, KYNTV. Welcome back in here on KYNTV. The new pitcher on the mound for Sioux Falls is Tyler Dewan, the left-handed hurler. First pitch from him is a ball. Dewan started the game as the designated hitter, so there's no other changes out in the field. Everybody else stays put. Final tally for Dosher here after this pitch. It's a high drive out to left field by Drew Reichen, but it's caught by the left fielder. Tagging from a second and trying to get to third is Lucas Kamshoff. He's going to be thrown out at third base, and that's actually going to do it for the inning on that double play. So Dewan comes in, throws one pitch, gets 2 outs, and ends the 4th inning. Talking about Dosher real quick, he ends the game 3 1/3 innings pitched, 98 pitches for the starter, 5 strikeouts, 7 runs allowed, 3 of them earned. We go to the top of inning number 5, but before we do that, I'd like to thank a couple of our Sportscaster Club members, starting with Graham Tire. If you notice issues with your vehicle, don't hesitate to call the service experts at Graham Tire, because they do more than sell tires. Graham Tire of Yankton, your auto service and tire store next door. Also, the UPS store. They'll help you with anything ing. Printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs. Even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, and of course, shipping. The UPS store of Yankton across from Walmart. Lastly, Yankton Thrive. There is a thriving business economy here in the Yankton area. Your one source and resource for all businesses, from retail to manufacturing, is Yankton Thrive. For more, go to yanktonsd.com. Back here shortly on KYNTV. Looks like Sean Turner's coming back out for the top of the 5th inning for Post 12. We'll have that 5th inning when we come back. Donnie Arns stepping up to the plate to start inning number 5. That last half inning for Yankton Post 12 as well. 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 runner left on base. First pitch of inning number 5 is a ball from Sean Turner. Turner just under 90 pitches here as we start inning number 5. That one foul tipped. Be a 1-1 count now to Arns. So I remember this time to flip my sheet over. Arns struck out in the first inning and grounded out in the second. That one low and inside for a ball. Gets away from Reichen as well, but off the backstop, rolls right back to him. Two-one count now to Arns. Foul tips that one off of his own ankle. Take a couple steps trying to walk it off. Looks like he's fine. Even the home plate umpire there checking in on Arns, making sure he's okay. He's back in the box for the left-handed hitter. Turner coming home on a 2-2 pitch. Leaves that one down the left field line and out of play for Arns. Two-two pitch from Turner. Big swing there from Arns, but he can't find a piece of it. That is a punch out for Sean Turner. 5th inning starts the same way the 4th inning ended with the strikeout.
Now batting first baseman, number 2, Carson Gall.
That might count as the 7th strikeout of the game as well for Sean Turner on the mound. Brings up Carson Gall, leaves that one inside. Gall has to bend out of danger. 1-0 count now as Turner comes set. Working from the middle of the rubber out of the stretch, leaves that one high for ball 2. pitch number 94 for Turner's. It's grounded to Matthew Sheldon. Off the glove and then off the foot as well. It rolls to Josh Sheldon covering the second base bag. No throw over to first. As Gall will reach first base on that one.
Now batting 16, pitcher Tyler.
Reach on the error credited against Matthew Sheldon. And that brings up Tyler Dewan. Started the game as a designated hitter, now the pitcher for the team. Turner misses the zone for ball one. Second pitch to Dewan. Takes a hearty cut, foul tips it back into the netting. First strike of the at-bat. 1-1 count with one down, one runner on first base. Turner comes set, no check to the runner at first. Leaves that one just off the plate. Trying to bend it and find that outside corner on the front door breaking ball. I'm not even going to acknowledge what I just heard one of the players yell. I believe he said, "I like your pupils," whatever. Interesting things you hear get picked up. Some of the chatter and chants from the dugouts as that one is in there for a strike for Sean Turner. Count goes full. At the risk of sounding like an old man, kids these days, am I right? But this one driven out to left field by Dewan. Mac Ryken giving chase, but it will drop in front of the left fielder. He gloves it. Runner will stay at second. So it'll be first and second for Sioux Falls. One out in the inning after that single by Tyler Dewan. Brings up Ryder Stubbs. Struck out in his first at-bat and then grounded out to second base in his second. Turner checks the runner at second. He whips around just to look the runner back. Turner checks the runner, now fires home. He's that one high, maybe a little bit outside as well, ball one. Stubbs now gets back into the box. Turner lets that one in there in a hurry for a strike. Stubbs came set in the box and Turner was already coming home with it. 1-1 count. Turner taking a couple glances at the runner at second, keeping him honest. Now working out of the stretch. Big swing from Stubbs. That one's fired back and up over the press box. Potentially out into the street here by Riverside Field. Should go get some of these foul balls. They're giving out dollars for them.
We joked about me leaving the press box for that.
I was saying you wouldn't have to bet Josh Bolter's money if you had these dollars from the foul balls, but a big swing and a miss there from Stubbs. Gets the punch out for Sean Turner. His 8th of the ball game here in inning number 5. That brings up Dayton Grease. Grease has a pair of groundouts in this game, one to the shortstop, one to the second baseman. That pitch high for ball one from Turner. Head coach Drew Lawrence wanted to get Cody Oswald's attention in center field, giving him a signal. Oswald changes his positioning a little bit. Turner fires over to first, trying to get him on the pick, and he gets the pick off to end the inning. Great inning of work from Sean Turner, a pair of strikeouts and the pickoff at first base. One hit, no runs come across, and a runner stranded on base after that pickoff for Sioux Falls. That's going to do it for the top of inning number 5. We go to the Yankton Bats when we come back here on KYNTV. Back shortly. back here on KYNT, KYNTV. We have a pitching change for you on the mound, brought to you by Conkling Distributing. Tyler Doohan, his stats on the day as he was on the mound for 2/3 of an inning, 2 pitches thrown, 2 outs, no strikeouts, no runs. Easy day at the office for him, and he will stay in the game. He started the game as a designated hitter, moved to pitcher for to finish the last inning, and is now out in right field because the man who was playing right field, Jack Osterloo, comes in to pitch here in the bottom of inning number 5. Cody Oswald going to lead off for the Bucks. First pitch inside on Oswald, almost clips his ankles. One-0 count. Osterloo coming set on the mound. He wheels and deals. This one, dribbler down the first base line, takes a couple bounces before going foul right in front of the first base coaching box. 1-1 count after that foul ball. Cody Oswald in this one was hit by a pitch in the first inning and then grounded out to the first baseman in the 3rd. He leads off the 5th. Luke Bernardo on deck. Josh Sheldon, the man in the hole. Foul tipped again by Oswald. Back-to-back pitches have been fouled off. This one makes the count 1-2. 7 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors in the score sheet against Yankton. 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Sioux Falls. Oswald loads up on that behind leg. Puts a drive into this one between the first and second baseman on the ground. It's going to roll in front of the right fielder, Doohan. It's going to be a leadoff hit here in inning number 5 for Cody Oswald. His first of the game. Second time on base. Brings up Luke Bernardo. Had a 2 RBI single in the first inning. Struck out in his last at-bat. And coming in inning number 3. Josh Sheldon on deck. Cooper Grotenheis in the hole. Both of them had back-to-back singles just the last inning. Osterloo comes set. First pitch here to Bernardo. Bernardo sends this one bouncing down the third base line and foul. Quick feet, quick hands from Drew Lawrence on the third base coaching blocks as he makes the play again. Count goes 0-1 after that foul off by Bernardo. Osterloo taking a bit of time, getting back to the rubber. Working out of the stretch from the left side of the mound. That one left inside. Bernardo read it all the way, didn't even load up. 1-1 count now from Osterloo. Runner on first base is Cody Oswald. He's flexed the speed so far this season. We'll see if he's in motion. He is here, and Bernardo, it's a hit and run. As that one's sent back to the shortstop. Fires across the diamond. It will advance. Oswald to second, and that steal there proves to prevent a double play possibility as Oswald was able to get to second in a hurry. Bernardo gets thrown out at first, but it advances the runner, and that brings up Josh Sheldon.
Brings up plate number 6, Josh Sheldon.
Sheldon, 2 for 2 on the day, pair of singles. This one popped up out of play over the first base dugout. Oh, 0-1 count now to Sheldon. Bottom of inning number 5. Yankton leads 7-3 over Sioux Falls. That one catches the inside part of the zone. Strike 2. 0-2 count now to Sheldon. He's going to have to defend the zone here until he can find something he likes that he can drive. Runner on second in scoring position is Cody Oswald. He's got plenty of wheels if one gets to the outfield. Oswald in motion as well. It's going to be a hit and run. Sheldon pops this one up, though, down the first base line and out of play. Going to land almost in the same spot as his initial foul ball. Count remains 0-2. Oswald has to hustle back to second. 0-2 pitch, part 2 from Osterloo. So he checks Oswald at second. Not in motion this time. This one's driven down the right field line. Out of play again as that one's going to land just in front of the bullpens. 0-2 count to Sheldon. Call this the trilogy. This is the third 0-2 pitch from Osterloo. Oswald's in motion. Foul tipped. We'll do it a fourth time in an 0-2 count. Josh Sheldon continuing to battle at the plate.
How fast do you think Cody Oswald could run the bases? Unimpeded. Just.
I'm going to pull up his 110-meter hurdle time just to see what he can run.
I don't think he has to hurdle any bags. I mean, he has
Exactly.
to step on it.
Just seeing what he can run in 110 meters while jumping and then kind of get a baseline from that. He's dancing off a second base, and it forces Osterloo to step off the mound. No throw, just wants to get Oswald back. We've seen this a lot from the Yankton base runners. Just dancing, trying to get in the head of the Sioux Falls pitchers. Osterloo comes home. Another foul tip. I flinched on that one. I'm sorry. 0-2 count. I've lost count of how many parts. Josh Sheldon continues to battle at the plate.
I'm going to go ahead and say 13 seconds. Either that's not giving him enough credit or it's way too fast. I just don't usually know.
0-2 pitch. This one driven out to right field. Underneath of it, though, is Doing as he gloves it in right. Cody Oswald tagging. Big throw from Doing it. One hops to third base, but Oswald's going to get in there standing up. Great battle from Josh Sheldon, forcing a lot of pitches out of Osterley, but it ends up in a fly out to right field. Brings up Cooper Grotenheis. Singled in his last at-bat. Struck out in the first inning.
I do enjoy how I'm over here having my own like sports science episode.
I'm saying is
Doing math.
I found some post-game festivities for us if we can convince Cody. 7-3 ball game here in the bottom of inning number 5. Yankton leads. Big cut from Grotenheis, but he foul tips it down the left field line. Count goes 0-1 after the foul ball. Cody Oswald sits on third base. Osterloo comes set. Quick check to Oswald on third, then fires home. This one popped up, drifting into the shallow left. The left fielder gloves it, and that will end the 5th inning here. 1 hit, no runs, 1 runner left on base for Yankton. They lead 7-3 as we head to inning number 6. Before we go, though, I'd like to thank a couple of our Sportscaster Club members, starting with Northtown Automotive, your local Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer. Visit northtownusa.com. Also, Stockman's Motorsports, your local Polaris dealer, with a full lineup of Rangers and Sportsmen ready to get you in the fields, in the woods, or wherever you like to go. Stockman's Motorsports is a proud supporter of all area students and athletes. And lastly, FloorTech. Whether your home or floor is wet, call FloorTech at 665-4839. Looks like Sean Turner's day on the mound is done as I see Josh Sheldon warming up here. We'll have more on him when we come back here on KYNTV. Be back shortly. Welcome back in here on KYNTV. Josh Sheldon on the mound to start the inning number 6 for Yankton Post 12 as we turn it back over to Bryce Ladwick.
And a first pitch into Dayton Grease. A foul tip on the outside, 0-1. We didn't get to see, I don't know if we ever did see Josh Sheldon pitch in spring. I don't have my spring stats in front of me. If so, not very much. We know he has a strong arm. 0-2 count now to Grease.
Give me a little bit of time and I can go back and find his spring stats.
And Rugby Riken tried to frame a pitch on the outside, just missed. Brings the count to 1-2. Grease grounded out to a short and second so far in this game. The 1-2 swung through, and that is Josh Sheldon's first strikeout, facing his first batter.
Sheldon did get one start in the spring season, went 3 1/3 innings, had 3 strikeouts, left 5 runners total on base at a 2.1 ERA, 1.8 WHIP. Not a heavy sample size, but a good showing in his one start.
Appreciate it, Braden. And the ball now misses outside, and that is to Sam Wicks. Reached on an error and grounded out too short so far in this game. Remember, this is day 1 Kyle Mueller Classic. We'll have pool play continuing tomorrow, and then top 2 teams from the Yankton pool and Crofton pool advance to championship Sunday here at Riverside Field, the 2-0. Ball misses high. Brings the count to 3-0. 3-0 misses low and outside, and that is a walk issued to Wicks. So Sioux Falls has a runner on. Back to our base running conversation, Braden. How fast do you think I could run the bases? You think about that.
For the sake of my job, I no comment.
2 minutes at the plate, Jacob Muckow. And Muckow singles right up the center. Nice hit. Just barrel on ball. Sent it straight north, or south in this case. And now Sioux Falls 2 runners on.
To answer your question, though, Bryce, I think you and I would have a similar time around the bases, and that would be eventually.
We'll get there when we get there.
Do want to talk about Sean Turner as he ended his day on the mound after the 5th inning and 5 innings pitched through 105 pitches, 8 strikeouts, 3 runs allowed, 2 earned against Sean Turner.
You know, 1-0 count to Camden Baum. Has reached every single time so far. 2 singles and a walk. Takes a pitch inside, 2-0. Sioux Falls looking to make some noise here in this half inning. They do have another one to give, but you got 2 runners on, only 1 out. This is their opportunity to get something done here. As a strike is called on the outside, 2-1 count to Baum. And Baum sends this one foul. And that's why we don't park the company vehicle where we used to, Braden. You weren't here last year. I'm pretty sure I just heard that hit a vehicle.
Well, hopefully whoever is parked over there has good insurance.
The 2-2. Misses high, brings the count full. And the pitch. And that is a strikeout. Josh Sheldon, second of this inning. Gets him on a fastball high and inside. Got him to take a quick cut. And that brings up Jack Osterloo. And Osterloo laces this one fair down the left field line. 1 run will come across to a score. An RBI single for Osterloo. So an RBI single. He's had a heck of a game as well. His 3rd RBI on the day. Now the score 7-4. Yankton's still with the lead, but Sioux Falls does have 2 runners on, 2 outs. That brings up Donnie Arns. Left-handed hitter.
Makes a tying run at the plate now for Sioux Falls.
And Arns takes a strike on the outside, 0-1. And this one's sent foul out of the stadium. Brings count 0-2. And pitch misses outside, brings the count to 2-2. Excuse me, 1-2. Yankton is also thing with classics, Braden. How, as a coach, do you manage the arms that you have available to you? As Sheldon sets down Arns, nice curveball on the outside, came into the zone, got him swinging under it, and that leaves 2 runners on for Sioux Falls. 1 run does come across on 2 hits, and that'll send us to the bottom of inning number 6, where the Yankton Bats will no. Go ahead, Braden. Oh, time, yeah.
I was going to say, I was thinking about bringing it up there as we got towards the end of the inning. There is a rule in the Kyle Mueller Classic. Luckily, I checked that for once. We don't have to go to the Oracle for a rule check. They do have an hour and 50-minute time limit on these games. We are officially at an hour and 51 minutes from first pitch by the time I finish explaining this. So Yankton's going to get the 7-4 victory in 6 innings. No point in having Yankton come back up to bat if the most that can happen is they add to their lead heading into the final inning.
Well, the buck stops here at Riverside Field-Yankton, now 3-0 on the season, 1-0 in the Kyle Mueller Classic. And thanks, Brady, for bringing that up. I mean, I looked down, I was tallying things up, and I was like, all right, we'll be back. Never mind, they're all lined up in front of us. And where did the time? That really snuck up on me fast. And I guess I did know that time rule, but it really did sneak up on us fast. So that is it for Game 1, the Yankton Rexall post-game show just around the corner here from Riverside Field. Yankton victorious 7-4. All right, welcome to the Yankton Rexall post-game show. Time for our post-game coach interview brought to you by Rhonda West and State Farm Insurance. Let Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance to see if she can help you save some money. Being joined by Coach Drew Lawrence. Coach, congratulations, 3-0 to start the season, 1-0 in the Kyle Mueller Classic so far, opening things up against a really good Sioux Falls post-15 team.
Yeah, it was a good team. They were a lot better than they have been in the past years. Those guys could swing a little bit. So we're happy to come away with the win. And, hopefully moving on forward and keep doing that.
A good day at the plate for Yankton. Multiple players with RBIs. Luke Bernardo has really had a nice start to his Legion season. Obviously, we're really young into the season, but some solid at-bats.
Yep, he has good at-bats. And, towards the end of the high school season, he was kind of striking out a little bit more. And I know he's worked on it on his own a lot to kind of fix that. So him putting the ball in play and finding ways to get us runs in the bottom of the order is huge. So he did a good job today. He got a couple RBI, I believe, and was able to help us get this win.
Sean Turner threw 105 5 pitches. He really just put it in a full day's work on the mound. Did a nice job. Why don't you talk about his performance a little bit?
Sean did a pretty good job. He struggled a little bit, as far as a lot of full count at bats, and that's how you get to 105 that early. And he's got all the stuff that you need for a pitcher. And then we saw a lot of progress from him today, because I think Sean would tell you he didn't really have his best stuff, but he was able to go out there and compete and do a really good job for us. So we appreciate that as coaching staff.
Rugby Riken behind the plate, not Jason McCorkle. Is that allowed?
Oh, well, it's the first time. Jace had a scholarship that he had to go sign. He got a pretty big scholarship where he gets a full ride. The build scholarship or something is what
Congratulations.
it's called. Yeah, it's great for him. So they said he was going to be gone for this first game, and we'll be catching the rest.
All right. Well, we looked at each other. Braden and I were like, okay, what's going on?
You know what's cool about that, though, is that we all knew Jace was going to be gone, and I hadn't really made a decision yet as far as who was going to catch for us. And Rugby came up to me in practice and said, I got it. So that's the kind of guy that Rugby is.
And he's caught in the past.
He's caught in the past, but he came right away. I mean, it's a lot different being behind the plate and squatting all game and being in the outfield. And, we don't talk about McCorkle enough as far as that goes and what it takes away from your power and your at-bats. And Jace does it almost every day for us. But, yeah, Rugby came, and that's what leaders do. They come and say, hey, I got this. I'll catch for you.
Pitching plan for Game 2.
Game 2 is going to be Samuel Kamshoff. So Samuel was pitching at Dakota State this past spring for them. And, it's going to be a tough game tonight. Lincoln Southeast has won this tournament multiple years in a row. So I just had a feeling that Samuel was ready to come out there for a big win.
All right, Coach. We'll talk to you after that action. Thank you for joining us.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that was Coach Drew Lawrence joining us. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Yankton Rexall postgame show. All right, welcome back to the Yankton Rexall post-game show. This is Bryce Ladder. Thanks to Coach Drew Lawrence for joining us in the post-game just a few moments ago. Let's jump right into our out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Upper Midwest Garage Door, specializing in the sales, installation, and service of residential and commercial garage doors and openers throughout eastern South Dakota. Upper Midwest Garage Doors, your local authorized pay dealer. Braden, what do we have for us? We have the Crofton Pool and we have Gazelles.
Yeah, and we'll start in the Crofton Pool here since we are talking about the Kyle Mueller Classic. Opening game over there, Hardington currently leads Crofton. It's the bottom of the 7th inning, so they've gone over that time limit, but they're finishing out the inning there. It might as well considering it's the last inning. Hardington currently leads Crofton 7-3, but with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, there is a runner on third, though, for Crofton, so that should be wrapping up here shortly. We'll see if Crofton can complete that comeback. Switching our attention now to state softball. For the Yankton Gazelles, they're over in the consolation bracket, and they currently trail Sioux Falls, Washington 4-1. I'm trying to get a full update on that so I can give you inning and how it's looking on the base paths. Looks like that is in the bottom of the 5th. Yankton is up to bat, though. They got 2 runners on with 1 out, so the tying run at the plate currently in the bottom of the 5th inning in that one up in Aberdeen.
All right, thank you, Braden. And let's jump into our stats review that is brought to you by Colligan. Rent a Colligan water system for $9.95 a month for the first 3 months. To schedule your free in-home water test and consultation, visit ColliganYankton.com. And we're going to go ahead and jump into hitting for Sioux Falls. 3 RBIs from Jack Osterloo, 1 from goal, and that would be all the RBIs for them. They were 7 of 26 at the plate, and did draw 4 walks. Pitching for Sioux Falls, Dosher started the game 3 in the third. Gave up 8 hits, 7 runs total, 3 earned. Gave up 2 walks and struck out 5. Dween came in and pitched 2/3 of an inning. And then Jack Osterley came in, pitched an inning, gave up 1 hit. No runs or walks or any of that because the time limit had expired. Yankton hitting. All right, so for hits, we had Rugby Riken go 1 for 1 officially. Scored 2 runs, drew a walk. Lucas Kamshoff was 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Matthew Sheldon 1 for 3, scored a run, had an RBI. Drew Riken 1 for 2, had a run, an RBI, and drew a walk. Cody Oswald 1 for 2, scored a run. Luke Bernardo 1 for 3, 2 RBIs on the day. And Josh Sheldon 2 for 3 and scored a run. Cooper Grotenheis 1 for 3 and had a run scored. Yankton was 9 for 23 at the plate, 7 runs, 6 RBIs, drew 2 walks. On the mound, Sean Turner started, pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks issued, 8 strikeouts, 105 pitches. And Josh Sheldon came in a relief pitch, an inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 20 pitches in total. That was your game 1. Your final score again was 7-4 Yankton in day 1 here of the Kyle Mueller Classic. All right, defensive player of the game brought to you by Olson's Pest Technicians. Call 1-800-KIL-BUGS, your residential and commercial pest control solutions. And go ahead, Brandon. Who do we have?
We're going to give defensive player of the game, correct? By Olson, yeah. I got confused in my own head for a second because I started looking at the stat sheet. We're going to give that to Josh Sheldon. Had a very good day at second base, played a part in multiple putouts from the second base position, and then obviously able to come in late, shut it down in that last inning with striking out getting all 3 outs via the punch out in his 1 inning pitch. So he's your defensive player of the game for his work in the field at second, and then of course on the mound, shutting it down in the 6th.
And our High V offensive player of the game, High V, was a helpful smile in every aisle.
You know, part of me was thinking Josh Sheldon for this as well because he was the only one with multiple hits going 2 for 3. But we're going to go Luke Bernardo, 1 for 3, but had a big 2 RBI single early on in this game that really got the team rolling in the first inning. Part of that 4-run first inning for the Yankton Bucks really solidified their lead early on, and they were able to hold on to it for the rest of the game. So that spark in the first inning and just all around having some tough at-bats, battling in there in the box. He's your offensive player of the game.
All right, and up next for Yankton later tonight, we'll be taking on J.C. Breger out of Lincoln Southeast, and that will be scheduled for 6:30. But as Coach Jules was talking to us off mic, this classic always runs late. But playing on 6:30 first pitch and 6 o'clock pregame here from Riverside Field, as they will be working hard to keep everything on track. But until then, we'll get a live stream setup of sorts. It'll be Sioux Falls Post 15 playing right away again, taking on Vermilion, and then Vermilion and York, and then York and Lincoln Southeast, and then, as I said, it'll be Yankton and Lincoln Southeast. So a lot of baseball here today at Riverside Field, day 1 of the Kyle Mueller Classic. And thanks for joining us here on KYNTV. I apologize earlier about the YouTube going down at first, and then we got it back up and running, and then having the game stream on my personal Facebook page for about 4 innings. But we got that rendered correct as well. But, you know, early morning and technology sometimes do not mix. But we got it all figured out, and Yankton got it figured out on the diamond. Braden, last words.
Energy drinks wake up the body but not the brain, so I don't think anybody's going to blame you too much for the mistakes. We'll be excited to come back here. As you mentioned, 6:30 tonight is the scheduled first pitch, but we'll see how it all shakes out with how the rest of this runs. I'm excited to see how this Kyle Mueller Classic turns out, and great first win for Yankton Post 12.
All right, until tonight, this has been Yankton Legion Baseball. Now 3-0 on the season and 1-0 in the Kyle Mueller Classic here on KYNTV.